Hello friends, let us continue with the section 18. This is where we are learning ITC availability in case of change in constitution of firm. If constitution of firm changes, will the ITC available? And if it is available, to whom it is available? This is what we are learning under rule 41. Where there is a change in the constitution of a registered person on account of sale. Sale means we are not speaking about sale of goods or services. We are speaking about the sale of business entity itself. We are speaking about the going concern business entity. Right? Hope you remember section 7 where in schedules we have seen if the business is sold as such as a going concern, then also it is considered as a supply, and if it is considered as a supply, then ITC should be made available, right? So sale of business entity and merger. Merger means where two firms merge together to form a new firm. Demerger means where a large company demerges into again two different companies. Amalgamation is one company amalgamating into another company. Lease, as you know, it is a form of rent or transfer of the business, right? Even if it is not a sale, it can be a transfer as well. So transfer of business with the specific provisions of transfer of liabilities, the said registered person shall be allowed to transfer. This is where we understand, right? So ITC is allowed to transfer the input tax credit which remains unutilized in his electronic credit ledger. Unutilized ITC is allowed. This is what we have understood from rule 41 read with this section, right? This diagram will give you better understanding where this is a selling firm and this is a sold firm. All the ITC is allowed, right? All the ITC available in the electronic credit ledger of this firm will be made allowed to the next firm, right? All the ITC which was seen earlier in the electronic credit ledger of this firm will be debited, and electronic credit ledger of sold firm, the next firm, shall be credited. Hope you have understood this point. This is the case of merger. See, there is a merging company ABC, there is another merging company XYZ, and you know the process of merging. When two companies merge together, they will form a new company, and these two companies cease to exist. It means they die. These two companies gets limited or wound up, right? Now all the input tax credit which is lying in these two companies will be allowed in the next established firm, and this total ITC is seen in the electronic credit ledger of new firm, right? See, we are transferring all the credit from old companies to new companies, and therefore all the electronic credit ledger item will be seen in the electronic credit ledger of the new firm. Hope this is clear, right? The information has to be submitted in the form ITC02. This is the form ITC02 where information has to be submitted by the transferor, and transferee shall accept it on the common portal, or everything should happen on the common portal. ITC shall be credited to the portal of transferee, right? ITC shall be credited on the portal of transferee. Now who is transferee here? Transferee is the newly established firm. Transferor are these two companies. In this case, this is transferor company, this is transferee company, right? This point we have seen. In the case of demerger, the ITC shall be valued and apportioned in the ratio of assets held and transferred to new unit. Certification of CA or cost accountant is necessary, right? This is what we can understand. Similarly, see the same process in reverse manner. That is why I did not make any separate diagram for it. Same process in reverse manner. See, there is a firm demerging company. All the ITC is allowed into two new companies according to the ratio of assets held, right? This is what this point clears. Such transfer also includes death of sole proprietor. What do you understand from this point? See, I will go to the first diagram. This is selling firm and this is sold firm. In case of this selling firm, if the death of sole proprietor occurs, because he is registered as a person in the sole proprietorship, if the same person, registered person, dies, but business will still continue, right? And if the business is continuing, the same thing, the same ITC will be made available in the next firm in case of transfer as well, right? We'll have to note that value of assets as said above includes all assets whether or not ITC is availed on it. What do you understand from this point is that value of asset as said above means here we are speaking about includes all the assets, even if you have not taken ITC on such assets. Let us suppose for an example, ABC firm, 50% of ABC's assets were taken ITC on that, and other 50% was not taken ITC on it. Even in such case, we are considering all that 100% ITC while calculating proportion with this entity. Hope this is clear, right? Now this is just extra chart where change in constitution of firm means sale, merger, demerger, amalgamation, lease, transfer of ownership. Then transfer of liabilities, provisions have to be provisions are given, the same provisions, and unutilized ITC transfer to transferee is again unutilized liabilities. Any other unutilized liabilities are there, or executed liabilities, let us say, sorry, unexecuted liabilities in case of demerger, in this ulta case, where unexercised liabilities will have to be given in proportion of their assets, right? The last slide for today's video is this: transfer of ITC on obtaining separate registrations for multiple places of business within a state. What happens here is that there are people and they are taking different registrations, multiple registrations within the same entity. Within same entity means they are using the same PAN number. In such cases also ITC is allowed. I'll read this. The registered person, that is transferor, having separate registrations for multiple places of business within a state or union territory can transfer the unutilized ITC wholly or partly the way he likes, okay, lying in the electronic credit ledger, any or all of the newly registered places of business in the ratio of value of assets held by them at the time of registration. Here also they specify the ratio of what? Ratio of value of assets held by them, right? Such information has to be given in the GST portal within 30 days of registration. We have seen in the registration chapter that 30 days is the constant time limit given for normal registrations. In such cases, within 30 days you will have to intimate to the GST portal that yes, you have taken different place of business or different registration. Hope this is clear. Any doubts and clarifications, please specify. Thank you.